A Tennessee woman suddenly vanishes, and for months, no one reported her missing, not even her husband. Marsha Brantley's hairdresser was the only one who started asking questions about her disappearance, and so she tipped off police after Brantley missed her regular hair appointment. When Brantley's husband was questioned, he claimed she'd walked out on him, but she left nearly all of her belongings behind. Peter Van Zandt has been following this case for 48 hours. Here's a preview.
In 2009, Marsha Brantley, an aspiring novelist and animal lover, vanished in Cleveland, Tennessee. 9 years later, her husband Donnie was about to stand trial for murder.
A case that sounds like a 48 hours mystery. A Bradley County woman disappears without a trace.
I knew that something was very, very wrong.
Hello.
Kelly DeLude was Marsha's hairdresser.
What time?
When Marsha missed an appointment in 2009, Kelly started calling around and eventually called police. One of the strangest things about this case is that for months, nobody had reported Marsha Brantley missing. Not her family, friends, or even her husband.
We have a guy who's told numerous lies about where his wife went.
Bradley County Detective Zach Pike says Donnie claimed Marsha left him, but it was striking how much she left behind, even her beloved dogs. In this 2013 civil deposition, Donnie didn't want to talk much about his feelings for Marsha.
When did she stop being the love of your life?
I plead the fifth.
You charging you with first-degree murder.
Donnie Brantley was first arrested in 2013. Prosecutors dropped the charges after deciding they didn't yet have enough for a winning case.
I don't ever deal in percentages.
In 2016, District Attorney General Steve Crump recharged Donnie Brantley, using essentially the same evidence.
He murdered her. He murdered her.
What proof is there that she's in fact dead?
To convict Donnie Brantley of murder, his attorney Lee Davis says the state first has to prove there even was a murder. Davis says Marsha had emailed friends suggesting she might go missing and that she was isolated and depressed.
She's a smart woman who left for reasons of her own.
Kelly DeLude wants a jury to decide.
If he did do something to her, and if I just let this go, he'll get away with it.
At the last minute, a stunning development. I have some rather startling news to tell you.
Wow, so that's a tease, because now, as usual, after I see these packages on Fridays, Peter, I always want to tune in more than I've already planned to, because this is fascinating. The first question I have, and producers write questions for us, but I'm really intrigued by why he pleaded the fifth when they asked him about how he felt about Marsha.
He felt that this was a perjury trap. You know, when you get in, this was a deposition about another case. They were fighting over ownership of Marsha's home, and they got into areas about the murder investigation. His attorney advised him not to answer those because he could incriminate in some way or another. Because prosecutors in this case, there was no crime scene, no DNA, no blood, no nothing, and no body. And it is intriguing, and there have been a number of cases in the United States during the course of this we've learned. There have been almost 10 cases in which cases get dismissed because you really can't prove that the person is dead.
Right.
They've disappeared, but you can't prove that they're dead.
I mean, it's the mafia theory of law and order, right? Which is, if you don't have a body, you can't charge me with anything. And it's in your piece, you basically say that the prosecution still has the same amount of evidence they had the first time around, and they couldn't do anything then.
Yeah, and look, they have, in our opinion, a strong circumstantial case. The biggest problem they face is being able to convince a judge, because at some point they anticipate during the course of a trial, a motion is going to be made that, Your Honor, they have not proven that she's in fact dead, because Marsha Brantley was suffering from severe depression. She had broken up a writers group. She was a very talented writer. She said, I'm going to go missing. I'm going to go MIA for a while, although she did also say, I may see some of you around town. And so the idea was, the notion that the defense could float is, she just left. She just left this life in Cleveland, Tennessee, and like a novel, went to start a new life. And she may come back one day. And one member of her writers group believes that she will.
But there's one thing that sort of sticks at me, and If she was going to disappear, why would she leave behind her beloved dogs?
That is the $64,000 question, because those dogs were her children. Now, the daughter of the accused in this case says, well, look, they weren't just her dogs, they were Donnie's as well. And the defense attorney argues if she was actually contemplating going off into the woods and, say, taking her life, she wouldn't have taken her dogs. So that's their answer to that.
Fascinating, intriguing as always. 48 Hours correspondent Peter Van Zandt, thank you very much. You can watch Peter's full report, Missing Marsha, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on CBS.